Hi, I'm Brent Johnson,
I'm Andrew Schaeffer.
and we are today at New Melleray Abbey in Peosta, Iowa, just outside of Dubuque. We have come here today to see this organ, a Bigelow instrument from 1985, I believe.
Opus 11.
And it's a really interesting instrument. This room is just beautiful, and it's kind of simple and sparse, but it's got a great acoustic in here.
Especially on a hot, humid day like
Well,
today.
and the windows are open, so you might hear some birds. There are birds nesting outside on the beautiful grounds here. But the organ sounds great even with the birds. So this is really interesting because it's got two manuals and pedal.
Right.
But the stops will play, almost all the stops play on either manual.
Right, and this is a system that Bigelow, who's an APOBA member, still building organs, uses often when they build smaller instruments. I've encountered this. We had an organ in Madison that was a lot like this. It's been since moved and renovated a little bit, but it makes a very small organ much, much more versatile.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And like I said, I wish more organ builders would take their cues from this, because I've really grown to love this system.
So we have slider knobs,
Right.
and they can go left or right.
Right.
Right for the bottom manual and left for the top. Is that right?
So every stop that you see, with two exceptions, well, three exceptions, I'll get to that in a minute, can be played on either manual, but not simultaneously, just one or the other. The three exceptions are the sub bass and the pedal, which of course only plays in the pedal. And then there's an 8-foot prestant in the manual 1 that can only play on this manual. Okay. And then the mixture can only play on this manual.
Let's see, but everything else can be anywhere.
Correct.
All right. Well, let's hear some of those stuff. Let's start with that prestant in the bottom manual.
Sure. Yeah. So this is made. I'm not quite sure what the alloy is. Maybe if a Bigelow employee is watching this, they can say it. But has a. I can tell it's hammered lead in the facade. I'm not sure how much tin is in it, but creates that warm, dark, leady sound to it. Now, I believe that this has a common bass. Starts at G sharp.
Okay.
So I'll play a little bit more of it because it's just such a lovely stop.
Warm sound, yeah.
You know, one of my organ teachers early on when I was studying at a place called Lutheran Summer Music, Chris Tucson, told me, he said, "Now, Andrew," and this is when I was, kind of learning about organs. If an organ doesn't have an 8-foot, he was from Holland. If an organ doesn't have an 8-foot principal or anything on the grate that, you don't like playing, it's not a good organ. And sure enough, I just kept playing the sounds example because I really like that Brent sound, and I just kept wanting to play it and hear it. So it's really compelling.
What jumps out to me is it's not a big sound. This is a big room, but the acoustics are great so that it fills it in, and we're not accompanying a big congregation. We just have a choir of brothers here that we're accompanying, so it's just perfect for the space. Right. It just really works really well.
So we'll work our way up the chorus, and that is there's a 2-foot or a 4-foot octave, I should say. With the prestant. Again.
It's just perfect.
It's perfect for the room, yeah. And then going up, we have a 2-foot 15th.
Not shrill at all.
No, and then the mixture.
on that example there, we get a little bit of the idea of the flexibility of the wind here.
Yeah,
A nice light wind system. It adds some life to it. We also, there's an interesting temperament. I don't know exactly what it is.
What it is either.
But it comes out there very clearly when in the chords.
I'm going to play the mixture actually by itself so we can kind of listen to it a bit. There's no indication as to whether it's 3 or 4 ranks or 2 or 17. I don't know. Kind of an interesting mixture, and it doesn't break until
to the top. I think I heard 3 ranks in there. Is my guess.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the principal chorus, and what's really nice is that it's all off to one side, so you just
slam it open.
Slam it open and close them back. Although you have to watch a little bit because if you move the 15th and the octave over to your right, or you have to think of the interior, they'll go on the second keyboard.
I see.
So we have, starting with the flutes, they're all grouped together on this side. We have an oak principle. I'll play it on the upper keyboard. This is just basically a fancy word fancy name for an open flute, a wood stop, obviously oak.
A lot of speech in it, and it's a nice thin sound, so we're getting more of a principal-y sound out of that open flute.
Right. Quite versatile. Okay. And then one of my favorite stops on this organ is the 8-foot gedeckt.
Lovely.
Another stop just like the Prestant that I could set and just play all day.
It's clear, and the brightness just helps
out.
it fill this room and sing throughout the room, even though it's a little bit darker fluty sound, but it's got an edge to it I like.
Right. And now flute, 4-foot. We'll have to figure out what it is. Sounds almost couple flute like.
It sounds partially closed is all I can think. What's the bottom octave sound like? It sounds more open down there.
Sounds kind of like a hybrid. Let's play up the compass. Definitely kind of transitions there.
Yeah, something changes in there.
Around. again, if you're a Bigelow employee and would like to comment,
Well, unfortunately,
let us know.
this instrument's a little too compact for us to be able to really get in there and
Yeah,
see what's going
yeah.
on, so we'll have to just use our ears.
So here's the 8 and 4 flutes. And then here's the oak principal with the 4-foot flute.
That almost gives it a string quality.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, speaking of, how the 8-foot cadet and the 4-foot octave play together.
It's really well.
Really nice. Then finally we have a sesquialtera that is starts at middle C. Here it is with the 8 and the 4. Put a little bit in the bottom keyboard. And there is a tremulant on this organ. Do it right here. This, to me, would say that it's kind of a Schnicker style tremulant and adjustable, but it's really not. You just pull it out, and it works.
Lovely.
And finally, we have what I find a little confusing. There's a dulcian, what would you think when you see dulcian?
Well, I would think a reed stop.
Yeah, like some kind of nice woody, buzzy clarinet. But here's what it sounds like.
So a dulciana.
What I have been told is that it was supposed to be originally a dulcian,
Okay.
and that's why the knob is there, and they didn't have the money to put it in right away when the organ was done, and so when it was finally decided to add another stop, it was thought a dulciana, especially for the quiet monastic services, would be a better. And it's actually a lovely dulciana.
Well, and in a room like this where we're kind of relying on nature to cool us down and it's difficult to get into tune, I think not having a reed
Great
stop
idea.
is a good idea.
Yeah, I doubt this needs any tuning much. So I'm going to play a little bit more. I think it goes all the way down, at least to low G. And you notice this organ is missing something fairly obvious, and that is
No expression on this
no
organ.
expression. However, I'm make a controversial saying. I don't think you need it on this organ. It's even though it's small, and it's in a rather introspective place.
Well,
It, the having all of these different gradations of 8-foot tone, from the bold pressed on through, this really gentle oak principle into this dulciana. You've got enough soft sounds. I mean, you could do a nice decrescendo pretty easily on this organ.
Sure.
And I think it's important to remind our viewers and you and I that not every organ has to play everything all the time.
Let's say this is not where you're going to bring your Rager fantasies to
right,
play. You're going to bring some lovely early music pieces, or even just some modern things that don't need a huge instrument.
And this is not meant to be a concert hall either.
No,
it's not meant to accompany big Methodist choir. It's not meant to accompany Anglican evensong. It's meant to provide some really select, beautiful sounds for daily living. They listen to this organ every day, so might as well make it beautiful. And I think this is just an incredible instrument, very versatile for its size, and it fits this room and this monastery's needs so perfectly. And so huge props to the folks at Bigelow. They just build such incredible organs.
Well, just a few little details about it that are worth noting. It does have a short compass, only 56 keys, and then we have 30-note pedal board. But again, you're not playing
Dupree on it.
No, you're not.
You need those variations on an OL or whatever.
Fine. It keeps the organ compact and efficient, and a worthwhile purchase here for
those pipes to tune.
Well, as I said, the situation here means we can't really dig around and get inside, but we can certainly listen to it. So let's listen to a little more of it.
Sounds good.
This is not your average church organ. It's used 7 days a week. We come to this particular space, this particular church, 6 times a day and also for Mass. The choir is accompanied for morning prayer lauds, for Mass, for Vespers in the evening, and for Compline in the evening. And I take care of all 4 of those. We have 12 in our community right now. This is a good organ for this space. It's also a good organ for this size of community. We had our brother Robert Simon here that had played for 50 years. And at some point, our abbot, Father Brendan, asked me to play an entire week of the office and the Mass, and then Brother Robert play an entire week. This is good for me because I could be cantor and sing in the choir one week and then play organ the next week. But when Father Brendan brought this to me, I said, "Have you talked to Brother Robert about this?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Check with him and get back with me, But it worked out well. He got a break for a week, and I got to sing for a week. He had a bit of a health issue here about 8 years ago. At that point, I got the organ 7 times a week.
Andrew, thank you for demonstrating today the Bigelow organ here at New Melleray Abbey. This is just a fantastic instrument and a fantastic space. It's so wonderful when you find an instrument in the space that are just meant to be together.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can tell you enjoyed playing it, and
I sure did.
Didn't want to give it up, so maybe they'll let you stick around a little longer and keep playing it. But thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you go down and leave us a thumbs up down there. And while you're in the description, we'll have a link to New Melleray Abbey and the Bigelow Company and the specification for this organ. It's a really unique instrument. I'm glad we were able to come here today today. Our thanks to Chuck Barland and to Brother Paul, who helped us make this video today. Our thanks to them. Our thanks also to sponsors who get us to places like New Melleray Abbey and help us make videos like these. If you would like to become a sponsor of the Organ Media Foundation, you can do that by going down in the description below. There's a link to our website, organ.media. Right there on the front page of our site, there's a place where you can become a sponsor and help us get to great places and see organs like these. And I think we still have some more places from Iowa. I'm not quite ready to leave town
Just a
yet.
few.
So make sure you're subscribed to our channel and click the bell for notifications, and you'll see when new videos come out. But until those videos are out, remember you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, organlive.com, Positively Baroque, and The Organ Experience. Thank you again, Andrew. This has been
Pleasure.
a fantastic experience. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Brent Johnson.
I'm Andrew Schaeffer.
Thanks for watching.